Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I am with Gary and Gary TV. We are here at the world premiere of the Blonde Hair Murders. And with me, I have the beautiful Claudine. Hi, Claudine. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You look absolutely fabulous. I love this dress. Look at this dress. I am just in love.
Thank you.
Yeah. Claudine. Yes. Claudine. Well, actually, quick question. Are you, how long have you been, first of all, an actress here in South Florida?
5 years.
5 years. And is this something that you, like from here on, do you plan to go to LA or just stay based here? Or where else can we see you?
Oh, trust me, you will see me in LA.
Oh, okay.
Next red carpet, probably, maybe next. I'm going to stay positive for next year. I will be in real red carpet in California.
Fantastic, fantastic. Another quick question. You are one of the beautiful actresses here for the Blonde Hair Murders. And what character are you playing in this movie?
In this movie, I'm a waitress.
Okay. And how do you connect with your character?
It wasn't easy to connect, but I managed.
Oh yeah. Why is that?
Because I play two different characters. One of them I have to flirt with the guy, the other one I have to be serious. But the first one, it was kind of hard, so to be a waitress. So, yes.
So there was a lot of flirting. There was a lot of fun.
A lot of fun and flirting going on.
That is fantastic. And where else can we see you at? Do you have a Facebook, a Twitter, maybe an Instagram where, I don't know, maybe we can see and follow you and probably stalk you?
Yes, I have Facebook. My Facebook name is Claudine Lee, and my Instagram is actress Claudine. No, Claudine actress on Instagram.
Claudine, you have a gorgeous accent. Where you from?
I'm from Haiti.
You're from Haiti?
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Well, congratulations. I am so excited to see this movie, and I am excited to see you in it. And yes.
Thank you so much.
It was a pleasure to
Oh my
see
God,
you.
I give all.
Oh, you look fabulous.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yo, check her out. She is absolutely gorgeous. I just love her, love that dress, love the hair, love all the shebang that she guys going on.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I am with Gary and Gary TV. And we are here at the world premiere for the Blonde Hair Murders, written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. With me tonight, I have the most beautiful, well, one of the most beautiful, because I find all the actresses gorgeous.
You do.
Oh, thank you. And her name is Just Cynthia. Just Cynthia. Yes, Just Cynthia. Just Cynthia, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You're looking gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
If you're not part of the cast, you should be part of it.
I should, Jerome, listen to her. I should be part of it.
Okay?
The next one. A quick question. Are you based here in South Florida?
I am a Floridian, born here in Florida.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay. And how long have you been acting?
Well, actually, my main thing is I'm a singer, a jazz singer. Singer, songwriter, did musical play, authored a book. I mean, God has just been really good to me as far as the talents. And Tony and I was in a musical play together a long time ago called Once on This Island. That's how we met. We were both in the cast. And then, of course, he went from a playwright to, of course, doing movies. And I was so fortunate for his previous movie, Evils of a Foster Child. He called me one day and said, "Girl, I need a house. I need a place to shoot some of the scenes. And I think your house is it." So I said, "Sure." You know you can't say no to Tony.
Oh, of course.
You cannot say no to Tony.
No, you just can't say no.
And so anyway, I said, "Sure, Tony, come on." So he shot part of it. In fact, the house was a house,
Oh, wow.
where the foster child and the parents lived. And so when he started with the blonde hair, he started filming. He called me and said, "Listen, I need you to fill in somebody." I don't know who somebody was supposed to be there. And he said, "Oh, I'm supposed to be the fill-in girl, huh? You mean I wasn't first choice?" But I love acting. I like the stage, mainly with the music. That's how the music got me on the stage.
Do you prefer singing or do you prefer acting?
Singing.
Singing. That's your first number one passion.
My first love passion.
But your second love is acting.
Acting. Really, just segue right into it. You know, you can't help.
It just happened.
Okay. Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you. Actually, before you go, where can we see more of your work? Do you have an Instagram or a Facebook or anything?
I do have Facebook, Just Cynthia, but it's best to catch me on my website.
Okay, what's your website?
www.juscynthia.weebly.com.
Guys, it's www.justcynthia.weebly.com. Thank you so much. Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I am with Gary and Gary TV. And I am here at the world premiere at the Blonde Hair Murders, written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. And I have a very handsome young fellow by the name of...
Hi, my name is Alejandro Quadra.
Alejandro Quadra. He's one of the actors at the movie. So, Alejandro, nice to meet you.
Same, nice to meet you as well.
How long have you been acting?
I've been acting for about 10 years.
10 years. And do you enjoy it?
Sure, I enjoy getting into character and really creating backstories for my characters. Yeah, and for this movie, Blonde Hair Murder, I was really honored to play the role of Shag Brenton and to really create a backstory and to really get into this character. Really dark and twisted-minded individual, just staying low-key and holding back a lot of the mystery that he has inside.
So you can say that you related very well with your character in this movie.
That was funny. I was actually driving today. I was like, if they do ask me like these interview questions, like how am I going to talk about this character and like how I really was able to get into it in this dark mind, I guess, yeah, at times I do get into this character already in my life. But I wouldn't say shady. I would say more or less just being that character and understanding it, and understanding from my point of view of how people have treated me and how I've seen other people act in society and things like that. So I brought that into the character and really imagined and directed that into who I was.
Wow, that's very interesting. And do you have an Instagram or a Facebook that that anyone can follow?
What's my plug? My plug is strictly B_photography. That's my personal page, as well as Man on the Mission 34. Where you'll see the more like acting and modeling side. So yeah, and then you have Strictly Business, where that's me behind the camera, where I'm shooting different movies and producing and directing and working on different sets and just trying to grow in the industry, someone behind the camera, as I appreciate more of creating and being a creator.
Now, quick question. Being in the industry for about 10 years, what advice would you give the young people out there that would love to be part in the entertainment industry in South Florida?
I would say don't look at any role that it's small. Really be respectful when you're on set.
Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I am with Gary and Gary TV, and the world premiere of the movie written by Jerome Anthony Larkin. Guys, the Blonde Hair Murders, and I am with a handsome fellow. His name is, yes, talk about you. Talk about you.
Oh, just stop talking about yourself. That's
okay. His name is Steven.
Steven Ivy Layton. Don't forget it.
Okay, Steven Ivy Layton. Steven, you look fabulous. Obviously, I love your jacket. I just love it. I'm into the bling and the sequins.
Look at these. Look at these.
Yes, I love.
Crazy.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Anyway, Steven, how long have you been acting?
Since I came out of my mother's womb.
Oh my God.
But to be honest, I've always been acting in some sort of way, whether it be from theater or just film. But I've been doing it for like more than, I think I have been almost a decade probably.
Wow, Steven has been acting for a decade. Are you based here in South Florida or North Florida?
South Florida, Miami, Florida, Miami.
Now, let me ask you a question. What character are you playing in this movie, and how do you connect with that character?
My character is the brother of the person that got murdered. One of the people that got murdered. So, me as the brother of the person, I had to channel somebody a great loss that I'm losing. So for me, that's the biggest thing, and that's what I believe that I brought here to the table. So.
Wow. So you really connected. Now, was that difficult for you to switch that, to have that emotion, to portray that character?
I don't like to say anything is difficult, so I'd say actually no. The thing is just find the best way to bring it out of me. But I believe from what I did, I didn't find it difficult. But yeah, I did have to bring out emotion. Yes, I did. Absolutely.
And do you have any other talents besides acting?
I play the violin, and I am a polyglot with more than a few languages fluently. Yes.
Oh, wow. So, Steven, do you have a Facebook or an Instagram or a website that we can look you up and stalk you?
Well, from the 21st century, I don't have anything of that. I have a Facebook. You can look me up there. Instagram, Snapchat, all the rest. You guys put it here? Would you guys put it there?
Yes.
Oh yeah, yep. Over there, you guys can find me.
Steven, you have to follow me on Facebook.
I'll follow you. Well, you have to follow me too.
No, I'm going to follow you too. Definitely. I have to. Look at him. He's gorgeous. Anyway, Steve, it was a great pleasure meeting you, and I am so looking forward to seeing this movie and seeing more future movies that you will do. Before I go, any more projects?
I got some music coming out. You'll see some music real soon. You get some real music real soon.
Okay.
Some of that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I'm with Gary and Gary TV, and we are in the world premiere of the movie written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin of The Blonde Hair Murders. With me today, I have a beautiful and handsome actor. His name is?
Eric Claussen. How you guys doing?
Eric. How are you, Eric?
I'm better than good, better than most.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
How you doing?
I'm doing fabulous.
I love your smile.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
And you're so tall, my God.
Yeah.
Eric, what character do you play in this movie?
I play Daniel Benito, private investigator.
Oh, okay. And how do you relate to this character?
He is on an internal journey as well as trying to figure out who the murderer is. So there's two stories going on at once as it goes twists and turns around the corner.
Oh, okay.
And you watch and you find out.
I'm definitely staying and I'm watching that movie.
Yes, baby.
Now, a quick question. How long have you been acting?
Oh, I fell in love with acting in middle school. I took
Oh,
a theater class and I was like, this is it.
really?
Yes.
Oh, my God. And are you based in South Florida or North Florida?
South Florida.
He's based in South Florida, guys. And do you have a Facebook or an Instagram or anything like that?
Instagram, Eric_Claussen. Facebook, Eric EC Claussen.
Okay, Eric, it's a great pleasure meeting you, and I'm definitely going to stay and watch that movie because I have been meeting such very great actors and actresses, and I'm excited.
Thank you for your time.
No,
Enjoy the
thank
show,
you,
baby.
thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
Hello everyone, welcome to Gary and Gary TV, or if you want to say G&G TV. We are here today at the worldwide premiere of Jerome Anthony Larkin film, Evils of a Foster Child. My name is Daphne Aguirre, and I will be your host today. Welcome back.
This is Catherine Nunez, and I am from Gary and Gary TV. We just finished watching The Blonde Hair Murders tonight, an amazing movie written and directed by the infamous and wonderful and talented Mr. Jerome Anthony Larkin. And here next to me I have a gorgeous young man by the name of
Dondre Tuck.
Dondre Tuck is a Floridian actor.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Born and raised.
In West Palm Beach, Florida.
Awesome. And he plays the role, a very special role in this movie. And a quick question, how did you actually connect with your character?
Well, I'm a student, so naturally, being a student, me and Trent kind of just synced in. I didn't try to think too much about it. You know, I'm into journalism, so I just felt like it was pretty easy getting into Trent Williams.
So you are a natural, so you can connect directly with the character very well?
I try. I wouldn't go as far as saying natural, but getting into Trent wasn't as hard as other characters would be.
Right. So. Let me ask you a question. In the movie, I love that part where you knocked on the door. It was amazing.
Thank you.
I love the blackmailing. Did that come out also as well?
Absolutely. Naturally, if I don't get things the way I want them, I will try and set you up some way to get what I want. So he wasn't really working with me. I had to kind of use some tactics to kind of get my story. So.
Oh, okay. And what do you aspire from here to 5 years? Where do you see your acting career grow?
I honestly see myself in Los Angeles. I want to continue working on films, commercials, mainly films. I have a real passion for films, and eventually like to branch into sitcoms. But I really see myself working on large projects, feature films.
If there was an actor that you would love to see yourself on screen, who and why?
I gotta go Denzel. I say Denzel because he's such a grounded actor, and in every role that he plays, I feel like he takes it on the same way, but just with a different character. So if I ever had the opportunity to work with Denzel, I'd probably do backflips, you know. But that's my actor.
You would do jumping jacks.
Something like that. Jumping jacks, backflips, one of the two. But.
Do you have like a website or Instagram or Facebook where anyone can follow you, stalk you, and see your work?
Absolutely. You can follow me at Tuck Turns Up, TUCK, TURNSUP, and then I have Dondre Tuck, DONDRE TUCK. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that.
Dondre, it was a great pleasure. You did a great job. Congratulations. And we'll see you in the next movie.
We'll see you. Thank you.
Thank you. Wait, I gotta look cute. Okay. Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I am from Gary and Gary TV. We just finished watching the movie The Blonde Hair Murders that is written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. Next to me, I have the most gorgeous young girl. Her name is Celine.
Hi.
Celine what?
Celine Alba.
Celine Alba, she has a very important role in the beginning of the movie, which actually is how the movie progresses into finding out what happened to your body.
Yeah.
How did you feel about the script when you first read it, and how did you feel that you were connected to that character to play that role?
Okay, well, as soon as I read the script, I became like a little private investigator. You know, I had to figure out who this person was. So I kept on bothering Anthony. I was like, Anthony, I need to figure out who it was. And I had like a whole list of people. And he refused to let me know who it was the entire time. But other than that, I kind of find it funny how Anthony and I have worked together before, and he's an amazing person to work with. And the $2 part, that's the second time I've been called that in his films. And I was like, Anthony, okay, come on, tell me. Are you trying to tell me something? So that's like the funny connection that I have with both of the characters.
Well, I believe in numerology, so 2 is a very important number, 22. Yeah. I don't know if you believe in that, but I personally...
It's 3. Everything happens in 3s. For
Really? That's crazy. Celine, how long have you been acting?
I've been acting since I was 8 years old.
Oh, okay.
So 8 years.
And I know you have a lot of projects going on. Which project do you think is the most important one besides this movie? Which was the most important one, and where do you see yourself from here till another 5 years as far as the acting industry?
Well, the most important one I would say right now by far would be Brass Knuckles, which is a anti-bullying awareness short film that we are hoping to get investors to create a feature film. It's going to be actually here in Savor Cinema. And then it's with Ciro DiPaggio and Nico Doleni and jokes, and I've been personally bullied like growing up, so it hits home, and I'm sure it's gonna hit home with a lot of other people. So I think that one's like the most important one to me so far. And in 5 years, I would be like 21, I think.
Well, I personally feel that in 5 years, this girl's gonna win either a Golden Globe, an Oscar, or something because she already won. She already won an award. How did you feel about that?
Oh, it was amazing. When I won Best Actress in widescreen, I couldn't believe it. I still have it in front of my room, and I'm just like, that happened. But hopefully, I'm gonna be in college for acting. Maybe in a good school for the arts. Hopefully, maybe LA. I don't know, wherever God takes me.
That is fantastic. And since you are so into the industry right now, what's your Instagram? What's your Facebook? Do you have a website? Where can we stalk you?
I do not have a website, but I kind of want one. And my Instagram is Celine Alba _ I'll spell it out for you guys. CELINEALVA and then _. Stalk me there. I'll stalk you back. I promise that. And my Facebook is Celine Alba.
Well, I'm going to stalk you on Facebook.
Awesome.
And please accept my friendship.
Of course, of course.
Well, Celine, thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Blessings. And I hope to interview you again. Maybe when you're rich and famous. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Can I take a picture?
Oh. Hi, this is Catherine Nunez, and I am from Gary and Gary TV. We just finished watching the movie The Blonde Hair Murders, written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. Anyway, next to me I have the whole cast is absolutely gorgeous. I have a beautiful young man next to me, very talented, and his name is
Lyrics, L-Y-R-I-X. Y-R-I-X.
Lyrics. How long have you been acting?
For the last about 3 years now. Do music and acting, it comes in together, so since I've been doing it, 14 years old.
Really? And when you got the script for the role from Jerome, how did you connect to that character and why?
He actually picked it for me. The character was already made for me. He's seen how I acted and how I sang and did music, and he just felt that Rap Bendito was actually for me. So when I actually started reading, I was like, I kind of am like that, a little bit sarcastic, but you know, try to play the role as best as he wanted it, so it came out really good.
Being a South Florida actor, do you see yourself going to LA like everyone aspires to?
I'm homegrown.
You can't leave?
Nah. If music goes out there, hey, that's good networking. Love it, no matter what.
Yeah.
But in all honesty, I gotta stay where my roots are at.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, that's a good thing.
But I might go back to Puerto Rico and act a little bit, you know.
Okay, well, yeah, well, I agree. But anyway, where can we see you? Instagram, Facebook, where can we find you and stalk you?
You actually can find me on Instagram at LYRIXMUSIQ. You can actually put that in any Google format, and you can find me anywhere. It's really...
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we will find him and stalk him. So,
go ahead.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
This is Catherine Nunez, and I am from Gary TV. We just finished watching an awesome movie, which I was on my toes. The Blonde Hair Murders, written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. And next to me, I have another gorgeous actress who plays the mom of the character.
Yeah, well, I'm Mrs. Reese.
She's Mrs. Reese.
Rebecca Reese's daughter. I'm her mom.
Oh,
Rebecca
the mom.
Reese's mom.
Okay, so her name is?
Well, my name is Sharon Pfeiffer,
Okay.
and I play Mrs. Reese, Marion Reese. I am Rebecca Reese's mother.
Perfect. And when you received the script from Jerome,
Oh, yes.
we gotta do this again.
No, keep going. Don't stop.
Okay. When Jerome gave you the script, how did you feel about it? Did you feel a connection, and why?
Oh my gosh, I absolutely felt a connection. I am a mother. I have a 31-year-old daughter, Danielle, and so I immediately felt a connection. I'm what you would call a mama bear. So you come anywhere near my daughter or even talk to my daughter in an odd way, I'm going to beep your beep up.
I love her.
Can I add one thing to this? She was another one of the actors that I wrote with her image.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She was Marion Reese from the very moment. No one else was for that part.
Oh, wow.
It was for her. I just want to add that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And where are you originally from?
Hello. As if you don't know.
New York or New Jersey?
New York.
Because I'm from New Jersey.
Okay, girl. New York. Same thing.
And how long have you been acting?
Actually, it'll be 9 years. 9 years, yes.
And do you have any current projects right now on the horizons?
Well, I have a million things going on, but what I'm most excited about, other than obviously Blonde Hair Murders, is I have a movie coming out with Matthew McConaughey. I can't really say too much about it because it hasn't premiered yet. It will be premiering at South by Southwest, which is the second largest film festival in the United States. I don't have the actual premiere date. It's anywhere, you know, the festival is from the 8th to the, the 14th. And the actual date that it's coming out in theaters, where everybody can see it, is the 22nd of March. So please, everyone, go out and see it. There's a lot of South Florida actors that are in it because it was filmed here in South Florida. But I do have a great little scene with Matthew McConaughey that I'm really proud of, super proud of. And so I'm really excited about that.
And one last question. What advice would you give to anyone that's young that wants to pursue this career in acting within the Southern Florida, within our region? What advice can you give them?
Absolutely pursue it with a passion. Don't ever listen to anyone that tells you you're not good enough, or you're not talented enough, or give up on your dreams. Don't ever listen to the naysayers or the negativity, ever. Because I have been listening to that bulbanoogie for 9 years. And I'm in a movie with Matthew McConaughey. Hello. So you keep doing what you need to do, and I promise you, if it's in your heart, you're going to do it. You're going to make it. And you're going to be on the red carpet.
That is just wonderful, wonderful advice. And where can we find you as far as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter? Where can we find you?
Shardan, S-H-A-R-D as in David, A-N as in Nancy, 323 on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Google me. Google. You know, hello, Google. Sharon Pfeiffer. Not Michelle. Same spelling.
I love her. I love her. This is Catherine Nunez from Gary and Gary TV. I just finished watching The Blonde Hair Murders, written and directed by this legend, infamous, awesome writer, director, producer, overall an artist, Jerome Anthony Larkin. Hi, Jerome.
Oh, me. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
You may call me Tony.
Okay. I am flattered. I'm going to call you Tony then. Tony. The movie, I just watched it. I personally loved it. I think it has a wonderful twist to it at the end, especially. You got to watch the movie. But it is an awesome twist at the end. What inspires you to write your scripts and your movies?
Well, this particular one, first of all, I Googled the title, and I was very surprised to find out there was never a blonde hair murder movie ever. And I thought that was a very typical title. Not one film was done with that title. I was like, wow, are you kidding me? Because it was a very catchy line. And I said, wait a minute. So as I started thinking about the title, I automatically started thinking about the two special agents, and I knew who the murderer was already from the beginning, and I knew Jason Reynolds would be a part of it. I used him as a muse when I was writing, and I just kept writing. And I wanted to kind of touch a little bit of Law and Order in the process. So that's how I did it.
That's great. And how long have you been making movies? And do you plan to make more movies?
Well, this is my 5th film, but on my laptop, I have about 30 scripts that I've written. I've been writing since I was 15, and now I'm 20. I wish. But seriously, I've been writing since I was a kid, and I try to at least do 1 film a year. No particular reason. Hollywood is not calling me. So if you're not calling me, I have to call myself.
Exactly. I totally agree.
There are a ton of filmmakers in Miami alone, and there are a ton of writers that are not located in Hollywood. We're just as talented. It's just that they're not calling us. So if you're not calling me, I'm going to do it myself. It may not look as appealing as a Hollywood film, and I know that, but I'm still going to do it. Do I have to wait for Steven Spielberg to call me? Do I have to wait for Universal to call me? No, they haven't called. So here I am.
For anyone that are interested in viewing your movies from the past, I mean, I personally want to watch some of your movies because I really like this one. Where can I go and watch your movies?
Well, actually, I had 2 of them on sale tonight. They were at the front desk. Evils of a Foster Child and Racist Rights. They were $5 a piece. Tonight, this one we're not going to put on sale yet until we have exhausted the film festival circuit. And that's my next thing. I want to take it all over to the film festivals. Because our last film we did very well. We made it all the way to LA. I had never been to LA. And we won 2 awards. We won Best Thriller and we won Best Ensemble, which is equivalent to Best Film. So I was very honored to receive that at the Silicon Beach Film Festival. So with this film, it won't be on DVD for a while until I really figure out if I want to do it again. A part of the cast did not show up tonight, so they haven't even seen the film. So I may do another screening before I do anything else.
And for those that do want to follow in your footsteps, I know it's very difficult, especially in this industry, in the film industry, acting, singing, they give up. And I just had an interview with one of your cast members, and it's tough everywhere, especially here in South Florida. What advice would you give to a young man that has your same dreams and that is on the edge of giving up for the same reasons? How can he gain that determination and persistence?
My advice is, well, I first pursued acting. It was very difficult. It was some crying nights. I moved to New York for 3 years. It was very difficult, and I gave up. But upon my return, I was quickly reminded by my family, you're not an actor, you're a writer. So I ventured back into my writing again, and it brought me to this day. For someone who's struggling and about to give up, you got to find something to keep you busy in place of when the phone is not ringing. You got to find that second win until the phone rings. Go out to dinner. Go to the park. Read a book. Write a book. Start a class. Find something to keep you busy until the phone rings. Eventually the phone will ring. It may not ring as much as you would like for it to ring, but eventually it will ring.
That is such excellent advice. I enjoy the movie. I think you're fantastic. I recommend that you either buy or look him up. Google Jerome Anthony Larkin. Jerome, for the people out there, do you have Twitter? Do you have Instagram? Do you have Facebook? Anywhere where we can stalk you?
Surprised I only have Facebook. Isn't that a shame? I know. I am so slow.
Listen,
I do not
the
have
same way.
Instagram. I do not have Twitter. I don't have anything but Facebook. But you know what? I ask myself, do I really need it? And I'm not bragging. I think I've done more with one social media outlet than with others that have 5 and 6. I feel like I don't need it. Not to mention, how do I keep up with it?
I know how you feel.
I
know how you feel.
I have to live my life.
I know.
So it's like I can't keep up with everything. I can barely keep up with Facebook,
Guys, go to Facebook, Jerome Anthony Larkin. That's the only way you're going to find him. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
No problem.
I am so honored.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
I love that, though. I love that.
Oh, thank you.
This is Catherine Nunez, and I am from Gary and Gary TV. We just finished watching the movie, The Blonde Hair Murders. Fabulous movie, written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. I have next to me another cute guy. I don't know. I have been surrounded by cute men tonight. His name is?
Kenny Ruiz of Mag Chop.
Kenny Ruiz. I'm going to call you Kenny.
Okay.
Kenny, how did you feel about the character in the movie that you portrayed in The Blonde Hair Murders?
You know what? I enjoyed it. I had a great time. It was a little bit different than what I'm used to doing, so it was really cool. It was a really cool experience. He wrote me into the script, and I had a blast doing it, so I loved it. I'm a fan of Jerome's work, so it was really an honor to finally work with him.
That is fantastic. And how did you connect with the character? Was this like your first time acting, or you have acted before?
No, I'm actually in a commercial with Paris Hilton and Flo Rida for Didi, which is China Zuber. And I've been in a film called Marriage Killer, which my art was also in. And I've been in a couple films, but this one was a little bit different because it was a different type of situation. So I had to really get into the character and put myself in a position to remember what it was like to have a roommate who was doing some stupid, stuff. So I was like, I kind of put myself in the position to be able to do that, and it worked out well. I was really happy with it, and I got a compliment from another director. He said, "Man, you did that so effortlessly, and you didn't overact it. You did a good job." And I was like, "Yes." So.
He's dressed the part. You gotta see the movie. Just gotta see the movie because he's actually dressed the part. That's why I said he's one of the bad guys. I mean, where are you from? Are you based in South Florida?
Yes, I'm actually out of Pompano Beach, Florida. I'm originally from Chicago, and I'm an artist and fashion designer.
Oh, you're a fashion designer. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I design women's activewear and swimwear.
Awesome, that is fantastic. And where can we find you and stalk you? Like, for example, you're fashion designing, you're acting. Do you want to still continue to pursue the acting as well?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm down for anything at this point. You know what I mean? But to find me, you have to go to MAGCHOP, which is magchop.com. And my Instagram is @magchop, so is my Twitter, and everything's magchop. That's the best way to find. If you Google magchop, let me tell you, you'll get some stuff.
Google Magchop, people. Google Magchop. Mr. Ruiz, you are fabulous. I really enjoyed it. It was completely natural. I'm telling you, he's dressed the part. For sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
This is Catherine Nunez, and I am from Gary and Gary TV. I and a lot of people have just finished watching The Blonde Hair Murders, written and directed by Jerome Anthony Larkin. And next to me is one of the main characters of the movie who plays a bad guy, but not really a bad guy. And his name is?
My name is Eric Perez, and I played the character of Jason Reynolds. And I was accused of doing murders that I did not do, which is pretty much a typical thing in my life. So it's another daily occurrance. So
that means you get blamed for things you don't do.
Every day, all day. It's just growing up. That's what it is.
So how long have you been acting?
About 9 years, actually. Yes.
And is this something that you enjoy and that you see yourself continuing to do?
It is absolutely my passion. I am represented by an agency out of Atlanta called Privileged Talent, and I've been with them for 7 years, and they're outstanding, and they take wonderful care of me, so
okay, awesome.
This is definitely my passion for sure.
Awesome, awesome. And are you based in Atlanta, or are you based here in Miami or Florida?
I'm based in South Florida, and I love Atlanta, but that traffic just kills it for me, so I'm happy living by the beach and traveling, so it's okay.
Atlanta has traffic, so that makes Miami look like a rookie.
Oh, it makes Miami look very nice.
I'm not going to Atlanta, guys. I love the way you acted in the movie. I think it was great. That bad boy look, that tatted. Girls, you gotta see this man's body. He's tatted everywhere, and actually, you did a really, really good job.
Thank you so much.
I enjoy it. Where can we stalk you? Where can we friend you? You have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook?
I do have Twitter and Instagram, and they're both _Eric_Perez.
Eric_Perez, guys.
That's it. Both Twitter and Instagram. That's both my pages.
Please follow this man. He is great. You got to watch the Blonde Hair Murders. Guys.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you so much.
Alright everyone, check it out. The Asian collection, the sweater just dropped now. It's also available. Check the shirt out available on our store, on Everywhere Production Store / online.com. Our Asian collection, Instagram or Facebook. Check it out. It's now available. The fall collection, check it out. We on fall.
This is Catherine Nunez from Gary and Gary TV, and next to me I have the CEO, CFO, and all the F's and O's and CE's and the O's, Gary and President Gary Evans. Gary, he is one of the guys that's actually doing all these videos, that's interviewing, that actually asked me to host this awesome event, and I'm going to ask him a few questions so you guys could get to know a little bit more on what's behind the scenes and what goes on behind camera within these movie premieres. Gary, how long have you been working with your business, and how long? Tell us.
This year is going to be our 30th year in business, but this business is actually run under a corporation with Evan Brother Production Corp, which I'm the founder and the CEO and the president. And my brother is the CFO.
He is a CEO and his brother is the CEO. You guys see these guys are twins. I can never tell them alike. I don't know who's who anymore. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? You can, I know you are based in South Florida and you have been doing behind the scenes on many events. What are your future plans beyond from now to like another 4 to 5 years? Where do you see yourself, and where is this going to?
Well, our future goals from now with Gary and Gary TV is to be one of the more popular view channels on YouTube, and also on Twitter, and also on Instagram, and also on Roku, Amazon Fire TV. Our app coming out around late February and early March, so you guys can download the app.
These guys also have a clothing line as well, and they they have a collection. You gotta check it out. What is the website?
You can go to Big Jelly Collection. We're also on Facebook. We're also on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. The clothing line is also available on Evan Brothers Production Store /online. You can check out everything you want on there.
I gotta wear one of their T-shirts and pose and be online so I can have my 15 minutes of fame. I'm just kidding.
And I'm gonna pass it over to my vice president.
The CFO. Where's the CFO? I don't see him. The CFO, Catherine Nunez from Gary and Gary TV, and we just finished watching the Blonde Murder movie from James Anthony Larkin.
Hello.
Gary,
hi. Hello, Catherine. How are you?
Good. He's a CFO, as you know, with his brother, and they do the behind the scenes on these premieres and these events and all this and that. What has made you partner with your brother? Because not a lot of people can really work with their siblings. I mean, I don't have brothers or sisters. I don't see myself working with my brother or sister. How do you guys make it work together?
Hey, we're twins. We're born apart. We're just 1 minute apart. We always believe in family. Family always come first, and family is the strongest bond. We're blood brothers, so we always gonna stick together. We want to rule the world together.
So these guys were born 1 minute apart from each other, and so I guess that makes them very alike, which means that it's kind of obvious they can work together. That's fantastic, because not everybody can do that. Your brother has really big dreams, and I know you do have those big dreams as well. Do you plan to do major projects in the near future? Do you plan to go to LA just like other actors and producers and videographers dream of going? Is that your next step?
Yeah. Eventually, we're gonna travel to LA and make movies there, and we're gonna travel across the globe and make movies here, because we work on becoming well known, becoming a very powerful big businessman in America. Cause the goal is to be like everybody wants to be famous. But what do you do with your fame? I want to give back to my community.
So these gentlemen are from Jamaica originally, and they live here in southern Florida. Yeah, and guys, they're very good. They're very sweet. They're very nice, and you should check them out. Again, where if there's a filmmaker out there or an actor that wants to do some work with you guys, where can they find you at?
Hey guys. Hey.
What website?
Hey, everybody, you guys can find me on Facebook at Gary Evans, and you can find me on Instagram at Gary L Evans, and you can find me on Twitter at Gary L Evans, and you can find me on Gary and Gary TV. I'm the vice president of Gary and Gary TV, the vice president of Evan Brother Record, and the vice president of Evan Brother Production, and I'm the vice president of Gary and Gary TV. So check us out.
That is fantastic. Thank you so much, Gary and Gary Productions. I get them all confused. G-E-A-R-Y, guys, and G-A-R-R-Y.